The 2020-21 Premier League season has not been kind to Liverpool. They find themselves 25 points behind league leaders Manchester City and have been unable to find a stable centre-back pairing in the absence of Virgil van Dijk and Joe Gomez. In addition to these on-field problems, they now face the prospect of losing an integral piece of their Champions League and Premier League winning side that has largely been unchanged over the past few seasons. So, why is Wijnaldum leaving? Well, it would appear that the club and player have reached an impasse over an extension to his original 4-year deal. The main sticking point seems to be the value that Wijnaldum places on himself versus how the club see him. Wijnaldum believes that he should be amongst the highest paid players at the club, whilst Liverpool appear to be unwilling to increase his wages from around £90,000 a week to the almost £200,000 that players such as Mohamed Salah and Thiago Alcantara are reported to be on. Age may also play a factor in Liverpool's decision to stonewall Wijnaldum's demands for a higher wage packet. The Dutchman is now 30 years old and would most likely look for his next contract to be his largest and longest payday, given his age profile and coming towards the end of his perceived prime years. With an intensive playing style, Liverpool may not be keen to back an ageing player who's already clocked over 16,500 minutes and racked up over 220 appearances in just under 5 seasons at Liverpool. This doesn't leave all the power, however, with the club. Plenty of Europe's elite clubs have expressed an interest in the former Newcastle, PSV and Feyenoord midfielder, and the likes of Barcelona and Inter Milan lead the way in securing his signature. So what are Liverpool losing? Well, one of Wijnaldum's strongest attributes is his consistently high pass completion percentage. He's averaged over 93% on passes ranging from 5 to 30 yards over the past 4 seasons, putting him amongst Europe's elite in terms of central midfielders. He also brings an elite pressing success rate, contributing to elements of Liverpool's gegenpress, although this style has begun to be less prevalent in recent seasons. He possesses an above-average ability when shooting from midfield, having been prolific in his final season at Feyenoord and 2 seasons with PSV, averaging almost 1 goal every 2 games. He will also remain a cult figure at Liverpool for his heroic brace off the bench against Barcelona in 2019 that helped to send Liverpool through to the Champions League final and eventually lift the trophy for the 6th time in the club's history. However, there are a number of weaknesses that can be addressed with a new signing to replace Wijnaldum. He ranks fairly low with regards to expected assists and shot-creating actions when compared to other Premier League midfielders, and an improvement in this area may help to alleviate Liverpool's problems with finding creativity from other areas than the 2 fullbacks and wide attackers. He ranks among the lowest 6% for tackles made in Europe's top 5 leagues, and the bottom 25% for progressive passing distance, perhaps showing another area Liverpool could look to improve with a future signing. His ball carrying numbers too have never peaked around average for his position. With Wijnaldum most likely leaving, a few names have emerged as potential successors to the highly popular Dutchman. One of these names, however, has stood out as the favoured option amongst the media and fans for the last few months, and that player is Argentine Rodrigo De Paul. But who is he? Well, he began his career at Racing Club in Argentina before moving to Nuno Espirito Santos Valencia at the age of 20. Notably, he was sent off just 1 minute into his debut after coming on as a substitute and fouling Sevilla's Alex Vidal. In the latter half of his second season at the Mestalla, he was loaned back to Racing Club after then manager Gary Neville deemed him surplus to requirements in his brief 5-month spell in charge. Finally, he was sold to Italian side Udinese in 2014 and hasn't looked back since, taking the club captaincy in December 2020 and becoming an integral part of Luca Gotti's side at the Stadio Friuli. Dan Altman, founder of Smarter Scout, praised De Paul in an interview with TalkSport and was quoted as saying, "There aren't any central midfielders in Europe's top 5 leagues who can match Rodrigo De Paul's style and his pitch coverage." He went on to allude that De Paul may be suited to a stint in the Premier League. But what does De Paul add to Liverpool? Well, this season he's been one of Europe's elite ball carriers, only behind the likes of Lionel Messi, Neymar, Jack Grealish and a few others in terms of progressive ball carrying yards. That is, yards dribbling with the ball towards the opponent's goal. He also brings an increased number of progressive passes and passes into the final third and penalty area. He ranks among the top 25 players in Europe's top 5 leagues for shot creating actions, that is, shots created from passes, dribbles, defensive actions and other shots. His creative ability is shown by being amongst the top 20 players for expected assists in Europe's top 5 leagues, that is, the total value of expected goals for shots taken from passes provided by De Paul. If we take a comparison of the two players this season, De Paul has outperformed Wijnaldum in a number of areas crucial to a central midfielder's performance over the course of a season. It is worth noting, however, that these figures have been adjusted to a per 90 minutes and per 100 touches of the ball base so that they can be directly compared. As we can see, De Paul provides a significantly higher creative output while still maintaining the level of tackling provided by Wijnaldum. And although he does have a significantly lower pass completion percentage, he's played at an Udinese side less centred around possession and more concerned with through balls and penetrative passes. De Paul would certainly add a new avenue of attack to Liverpool's play and reduce their reliance on the fullbacks for creativity. He would add dynamism with his ball carrying, and his work rate off the ball would suit Jurgen Klopp's play style. While Wijnaldum may move on to pastures new this summer, Liverpool fans will never forget the Dutchman who came off the bench to score two of the most important goals in the club's history and level the tie in what would be one of football's great comebacks against Barcelona. De Paul would be a fitting replacement and brings with him a high work rate, great dribbling ability and the added weapon of creativity from midfield. He may be just what Liverpool need to regain their place at the top of football's pyramid and push for a second Premier League title. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. Any feedback and comments would be greatly appreciated. And if you're looking for further analytical football content, then please check out the other videos on the channel. If you'd rather a lighter, more conversational tone, check out the 1 to 11 podcast, available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor and all other podcast networks.